Okay. Well, happy, beautiful June weekend. I don't want to give it a specific day. Okay. So this reading is from the Dhammapada, and chapter 16 on pleasure. So if you could put your hands in Hapchang. Don't run after pleasure and neglect the practice of meditation. If you forget the goal of life and get caught in the pleasures of the world, you will come to envy those who put meditation first. Not seeing what is pleasant brings pain. Seeing what is unpleasant brings pain. Therefore, go beyond both pleasure and pain. Don't get selfishly attached to anything, for trying to hold on to it will bring you pain. When you have neither likes nor dislikes, you are free. Selfish attachments bring suffering. Selfish attachments brings fear. Be detached and you will be free from the sufferings and fear. Selfish bonds cause grief. Selfish bonds cause fear. Be unselfish and you will be free from grief and fear. Selfish enjoyments leads to frustration. Selfish enjoyments leads to fear. Be unselfish and you will be free from frustration and fear. Selfish desires give rise to anxiety. Selfish desires give rise to fear. Be unselfish and you will be free from anxiety and fear. Craving brings pain. Craving brings fear. Do not yield to craving and you will be free from pain and fear. Those who have character and discrimination, who are honest and good and follow the Dharma with devotion, win respect of the world. If you long to know what is hard to know and can resist the temptations of the world, you will cross the river of life. As your family and friends receive you with joy when you return from this long journey, so will your good deeds receive you when you go from this life to the next, where they will be waiting for you with joy like your kinsmen. Here ends the reading. So, the summertime is often, at least where we up north here, it's a very expressive time of year, whereas the winter time is there's more of a calm, serene type of feeling to it, especially when we get those big, giant white flakes, right, that are just beautiful, and you can hear the quiet. In the summertime, it's a little different. It's you are constantly greeted by the trees waving at you with the breeze. The sun, at least here, is a little more prevalent, and people are out walking their dogs. And the trappings for that pleasure are ripe. In watercolor, when you're painting watercolor, the paper, the paint itself, the brush, and the water, obviously, but it's a very specific technique that you're using to express the color. Because the paper bleeds, it bleeds that color. You're not dropping the color or the paint, and it's not going to be in a specific space. It's going to bleed into other things. Our life bleeds like that. It's not specific to one spot. It will come, make contact with that, and it bleeds into other areas of our life. So the unexpected is expected, and the expected is unexpected, right? It's a constant reminder, like the seasons are. I find that the pleasures of our day-to-day can be easily caught up in our thinking, in our commentary, what we have to say about it. The experience bleeds into our thinking, and we color that experience with the commentary we give it. What's the truth? The experience, the commentary, the paper, the ink, what's the truth? Right? It's all there. It's all part of the same. I think that when we are in a spiritual pursuit, there's going to be a lot of bleeding. It bleeds into our lives in a number of ways. Most profoundly is when we are able to see a shift in our thinking, because we'll come to notice. We might not even notice it right away, but it's there. And then you kind of cue into, oh, wait, before I might have thought of it this way, or my actions more likely would have been this way had I run into this problem, earlier in my life or whatever. But it's never in a place of certainty, right? It's never in that place of, oh yes, I know. That's why there's always this coming and going. That's why there's always the movement of the earth, the movement of the stars. It's never settled. You're never going to get there. You're never going to find that settled space. And I think that's in part what pleasure is alluding to. The pleasure is going to allow you to find that settled space. If you go there, you grab it, and then you can hold on to it. It's a funny thing, living. It's a funny thing, living. It's a curious thing. Because we can intellectually know that it's not healthy, or it's not a thing that is in my best interest to do. And yet, we can do those things. That's the allure of the pleasure. That's the allure of that seeking ground, seeking that solidity, certainty. And people are going to walk their life however that, and whatever that looks like. based on their own commentary, based on what it is that they believe to be true, whatever that commentary is. There's the Diamond Sutra is a really good read on just that, the commentary of how we color our world, because it speaks to the illusion of that, which we try to give certainty to. And it's a great reminder that it's never what it is it seems to be as we walk in our day-to-day life. So what's the answer? What's the answer? It's a good question. What's the answer? What's the truth? We just go about and do the best we can with what it is we know. And we go about being as honest and open as we can with ourselves and others. We bleed into everybody that we meet in some way, somehow, right? Whether it's just the person behind the counter at the gas station or if it's just close family, right? We always have that available. So you can say we are a palette of many colors based on our actions and what we say and do for each other. We don't have answers to everything. And as much as I try to find answers, I never come up with much. And that's the truth. It is just the truth. And that's just the truth of how it is. Doesn't matter how old you get. Hopefully with that comes a little wisdom. But as far as finding the answer, I don't know. Clarity of mind comes from the practice of this idea of attachment to pleasure and pain, this idea of this grasping, because it's the commentary that we give it, that's the issue at hand. It's not the thing itself. It's the commentary that we give it. It's the power that we give it, right? And so that's a clue. I think that's a clue for us as we walk this path, this spiritual path. I think that's a really good thing to have in your back pocket, especially when you're going to your day-to-day. The reason why I brought up the summertime is because I live right by 3 ice cream stores. Okay, and you know, I tell you, there's a soft serve on this side, and there's a soft serve on this side of Woodward, and then there's a Cold Stone like right there too. So, the pleasure, right? The pleasure. Oh, this would be so good at night, having a big jug of ice cream. And then I know I'll have a stomachache as a result. Right? So with practice, we just become mindful and we work on that, and just be open for ourselves and others. No commentary. No commentary. Try that out for a little bit. Have no commentary and see what happens. Thank you.